Welcome to Kick It University's mini training session. Today we're going to talk about laying the foundation for a good customer experience. Customer experience really matters. If you think about what it takes to acquire a new customer, it takes a lot, and it takes a lot more than it used to because customers are so inundated with information on a regular basis. So a happy customer can refer you to people that they know, and those people are really likely to come use your products or services as opposed to trying to use campaigns through email and whatever else that can take up to 30 different tries before people even recognize your name. Unfortunately, an unhappy customer can also ruin your reputation. So you want to make sure that you keep your customers happy. And the reality of that situation is the earlier in a process that a customer becomes unhappy with you, the less likely they are to use you again and the more likely they are to say bad things to their friends and family about you. However, if you have a really long-term positive relationship with people, with your customers, then they are likely to overlook what they would consider to be a blip in what's been a really excellent relationship. So the voice of the customer is really powerful. And social media makes it super easy for them to talk about your brand and your service, whether that's good or bad. The other thing that you should know is that client acquisition costs are seriously underreported. I don't believe people track them effectively, and it takes a lot of time, effort, and money to acquire a new client. So it just makes more sense to keep your clients happy. And a big chunk of that is considering the customer experience. So how your customers are treated is important, and customer experience needs to be a foundational metric for your organization. And by that I mean you should consider the customer experience every time you think about changing or altering or adding new processes and procedures or selecting technology or determining any training, whether it's customer facing people or not. You want to make sure that you consider how it impacts the customer experience. If you have a positive one, you want to make sure that doesn't impact it negatively. And in order to do that, you first got to figure out who is your customer. So obviously customers are your target audience. They're people that you want to know, like, and trust you, and they're people that you ultimately want to buy your services or products. However, you also have a form of a customer in your employees and contractors and your vendors, and you need for these people to have a really positive experience with you as well in order for the customer facing piece of your organization to function in a way that gives a positive customer experience. So when you're considering developing a metric around customer experience, you want to look at your vision and your mission, and you want to determine what are the areas that are most important to us as a company. Right? And that could be anything, whether it's integrity, maybe you really stand for the environment, whatever it is that you stand for, that needs to be written out in a clear, concise way so that everybody understands it, which is beyond the mission statement. It's about developing a culture. And then determine, do you align your goals, processes, and procedures with the areas that are most important? And then do you consider your customer experience when you're handling all this alignment? This creates a way for you to be very transparent to your customers, which is important for them because transparency is one of the things that they want from companies that they buy from. When you're considering communication, you got to know what your customers expect from you and how you're communicating to that. Are you consistent in your communication and in your message? You have really good delivery mechanisms so that people know that this is what you stand for and that you mean it and that it's part of your culture. It's not just something that you're passing on to them because you think it's what they want to hear. You have to really believe in it. And then how do your customers communicate with you? Do you encourage really open communication? And when that happens and it's of a negative way, do you have a way to handle those opportunities for improvement and let the customers know that you appreciate their feedback and you're handling it right? You want a process there. And just as importantly, you want to celebrate positive customer experiences beyond just putting a testimonial on your website. You want to celebrate them so that your organization understands this is the epitome of what you're after. The customer had a brilliant experience, and because of that, we all worked hard. We're going to celebrate it. So the core of a customer experience really starts with the company value and your ability to be transparent about those value sets, your customer focus and how they align with the values, and then how you communicate internally and externally, and those open lines of communication. All of those are foundational pieces to start creating a really positive customer experience. I hope you enjoyed our time today. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email us or give us a call or check out our website at kickituniversity.com. Thank you and have a great day.